Every leader wants to leave a legacy. They want, after their time of service, to be able to look back and say, I did something significant or I impacted the lives of people. And also in retrospect, every leader wants to be able to have people say, you know what, we were glad you were here and we thank you for all the things you did for us. So how does a leader form a good legacy? How do they leave a good legacy? I believe that there are three things that are very important. Of course, there are very many things that I think, but for me, looking at my life and in my experience of just being leadership, when I started experiencing leadership and seeing how people are leaving a mark, in those 30 years of my experience, starting from leadership and being in different leadership positions and duties and roles, I have found that there are three elements. The first element is something I call identity. Every leader must be able to know who they are. That is a question every leader must learn and work on. Who are you? Why are you here? For me as a Christian, I believe I am here. I'm supposed to be like Christ. My identity is who he makes me to be. So I don't have to perform for people, but to live exactly in the identity that God has for me. Christ-likeness, in fact, forms my vision for life. Secondly, there's a question of loving, and that has to do with the relationships. How is my intimacy? How is my relationship with God? Because it does totally affect my leadership, philosophy and how I live my life. How are my relationships with my family? How is my relationship with my children, with my relatives, the people? Relationships form a huge core in terms of legacy, because what legacy are you going to leave? It's not in the buildings only. It is also in being able to impact the lives of these people, which begins with family and friends, your social life, that being another very important area. And thirdly, it has to do with integrity. And integrity has to deal with the area that I am called to become a leader. What type of a leader am I? Am I impacting people the way they need to? How is my character formed? And there are different elements that are important in this conversation. The question I have for you is this: what type of legacy do you want to leave? And by the way, legacy could be personal, it could also be in your family, it could be in your workplace. What type of legacy do you want to leave? And how are you relating your integrity, your identity, and your intimacy for you to live a better life? Those are areas you cannot afford to miss, to work on and to grow. So begin today, if that's a need for you to figure out, because actually legacy also has a way of affecting how your vision is. Because if this is how I want people to remember me, you're able to work backwards and be able to develop a vision. In fact, in my coaching conversations, with leaders, and especially both personal, professional, or even organizational, we say, so what's a mark that I want to leave? And we're able to process backward from vision to legacy. When you miss that door of seeing this is the legacy I want, and so this is a vision I should have, you miss the whole point. Most of people say, this is a vision, this is what I want to become. And then how do they measure that? One of the best ways to measure how your vision is being lived out is the impact it's having with the legacy that you want. So begin to think about the conversation of legacy. What legacy do you want to leave?